What's up YouTube, Adam here, and in this video I'm going to be bringing you a direct comparison between the brand new iPad Air and its little brother, the also brand new iPad mini with Retina Display. Now, just before we get going, to let you know, this video is brought to you by buymobiles.net. For all of your smartphone and contract needs, definitely go and check out their website. I'll leave a link in the video description. Now, let's get into the comparison. And first of all, obviously, the biggest difference between both of these tablets is the fact that the iPad Air has a larger body and also that larger screen as well. Now, in terms of the actual dimensions, the iPad mini with Retina Display pretty much fits into the actual screen size of the iPad Air, but they're not hugely different in terms of the other dimensions. The actual thickness of the devices is pretty much identical, with the iPad Air being just that slight bit thicker, but to hold and look at in front of your eyes, you really wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Now, in terms of the actual design and the build quality, they are absolutely identical. The button layout, the materials, the overall design, absolutely everything right down to the speaker grills is identical between the two devices. Now, the biggest difference really comes not only in terms of the actual size of the device itself, but also the size of the screen. Now, the actual resolutions are identical, but because the iPad mini with Retina Display has that little bit smaller screen, what that really means is that you end up with a quite significantly larger PPI of around about 70 more than the iPad Air, bringing it to about 326 PPI. Now, the actual quality of the screen, when you look at it, for me personally, without going too in depth, they look pretty much identical. There's been a lot of talk about the iPad mini with Retina Display having a not quite so high quality screen, but to look at everyday pictures and text and everything else, you really cannot tell the difference between the two devices unless you look very, very closely indeed. Now, because of that in greater PPI on the iPad mini with Retina Display, sometimes it can look just that very, very slightly much sharper, but like I say, from day-to-day use, you really can't tell them apart. Now, even though the iPad Air is significantly bigger, the internals stay the same. We've still got that A7 64-bit processor and also the M7 coprocessor. The actual cameras are identical on the front and the back, and although the dimensions of the iPad Air are just that much bigger than the iPad mini with Retina Display, the actual weights of the two devices really aren't that far apart, and they are both very, very portable devices. Now, in terms of performance, they are literally identical, coming in with an almost identical Geekbench score. The actual iPad Air is clocked very, very slightly higher than the iPad mini, but it makes absolutely no difference in real life performance at all. Both of these completely chewing up anything you throw at them. Now, when you're actually holding them, the iPad Air needs to be held firmly with one hand, potentially with one thumb across the screen, whereas the iPad mini can be grasped in just one hand and held literally inside the palm of your hand. Now, when it comes down to it, how are you actually going to choose between these two tablets? Now, for me, you've got to keep it very, very simple. Forget most of the stuff that we've just said. You literally want to choose. Do I want the larger screen of the iPad Air, or do I want the slightly more portable iPad mini? Now, obviously, with the iPad Air, you're going to be able to be slightly more productive with that when you actually want to do some of your productivity tasks, whereas with the iPad mini, it's going to be that little bit more portable. Now, which one of those do you want to go for? For me, that's literally what you should narrow it down to when you're choosing between both of these two fantastic devices. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Let me know what one you would choose in the comments section. Please do hit that like button, subscribe for more videos, and I will see you all in the next one. See ya.